Salutations, welcome to another episode of Foxx Plays KSP, the 365-day challenge, the reboot. So, I actually just tried to record this mission and had some technical difficulties, mainly that the video was 2 hours long, and I've no way to edit it down. Yeah, and that was with me putting pauses and breaks and things to kind of shorten it. So I think I'm going to try and fly it again, and this time be a bit more conservative with screen time. So, one thing that did happen is I moved Muna 2, so I don't really have a good way of restoring the save game before I moved it, so but yeah, I've reset, I've recovered all the associated craft, and I'm just going to refly it. So, yeah, without any further ado, we'll head over to the launch pad and take a look at our spacecraft. Alrighty, here on the launch pad with Muna 3, top an ALV2 standard configuration launcher. I mentioned in a previous video, or maybe I didn't. It's hard to remember, but I did spend several hours recently building a whole bunch of different configurations for the standard Tantares launchers, including extended fuel tanks and extra stages and whatnot. Anyway, off we go. So yeah, I did fly this mission once already, and I've essentially I'm not gonna upload the that footage, and the crafts have all been recovered. But yeah, so I did launch successfully. Everything was successful. I landed safely on the moon, and then I got ambitious and cocky and decided to try and move it, because I had kind of a lot of delta V left in my my descent stage. So I tried to move it closer to Muna 2, and resulted in basically the same problem we had with Muna 1. Is I had a higher velocity than I had remaining delta V, and I did the same thing. I recovered it even better than Muna 1. Did some flipping and flopping and hinky stuff to keep the craft alive, and I broke 3 of the 4 solar panels, but I did get it back on the ground safely. I just couldn't get it upright because I had broken the extending features of all of my landing legs, so I couldn't take my landing legs in, and so I couldn't get upright and that was probably a huge portion of what made that video like 2 hours long. Was I had it on camera of me trying to get it upright again, because it's a 2-stage lander, so I really wanted to demonstrate the second stage. But anyway, we're getting to that point here. Very clear that we shall go to space today. Not only because it's a very, very well proven rocket, but we're just at that point where it's hard not to go to space today. So I'll let this stage decouple, and I'll see you in orbit. Alright, see you there. Alright, and here we are. Just at the very top of the atmosphere, and lined up for our orbital insertion burn. We're going to ditch our payload fairing. Take a look at what we got. Alright, so it's similar but different. I think it's much taller. Bear in mind, this is a kind of a structural fairing around some of the more delicate bits. That's there just to kind of make double sure that the fairing doesn't rip off our delicate bits, so to speak. Alright, so a bit of time acceleration. Get us just to our orbital insertion burn. Alright, here we go. Alright, there we go. So So I'm gonna find us a get us en route to the moon. Get us en route to the moon. Ditch this upper stage on a collision trajectory, and I'll see you there. Alright, and we're back with our maneuver node. It'll put us on an ejection trajectory and send us cruising on out to the moon. And just gotta pay attention not to talk too long here. So I've determined that I think I have enough delta V in this upper stage to make it worth keeping. Basically, I'm going to try and use it to do a circularization and deorbit burn, and then I'll reboost with the payload and get when I find a proper landing site. It's actually kind of funny because the first time I did this stage decidedly did not have enough delta V to make that worth it. Okay, so I messed up our maneuver slightly. So let's try. Okay. Yeah, we definitely don't need a very high periapsis. I am really enjoying building these landers. Looking forward to doing a lot more with them. Still need to kind of do some research on the whole ScanSat thing for carbonite. Altitude ideal. Interesting. Okay. Right. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with building landers, building probes. They're just cool, you know. Alright, that looks like it should give us what we want. Yep. Okay. So, I'm going to do some time acceleration, and I'll see you out at the moon. Alright, see you soon. Alright, here we are, zipping on down towards our circularization burn. Sorry there was a little bit of stutter there. Hit the key one too many times. But we're all lined up. Alrighty. Alright, and that's capture. So we are captured. We're going to aim for a very low orbit, so let's make sure we didn't overdo that. I don't think we did. Periapsis. Okay. Alright, so, and I think this has its own inbuilt core probe. So, we're actually going to just stop this tumble, because this is a bit ridiculous. And we're actually going to just face radial. Alright, and cells lined up here. Alright, so we're going to decouple our upper stage here. Drift out of our shroud there. Our cowling. Alright. And We appear to be... Oh, that was a cool... That was cool. I was like, is that the planet? That's a cool effect. Alright, and so we're going to point retrograde. Now that the probe is clear and in a stable orbit. Alright, and we're going to just kind of point straight down and let rip. Just make sure we hit with enough force to just atomize everything. Love how we've got like escape velocity from the Kerbin system if, you know, the moon wasn't in the way. So we'll just follow this in. Alright. Alright. So we're going to go to the tracking station and bounce back to our orbiter. Alright, here we have our lander. So we're just going to deploy just a little bit to top up our electrical charge because it's gotten awfully low. Yeah, this lander is superficially similar to Muna 2. It's, now that I've looked at it, it's actually similar size, but it's far more sophisticated. It's a two-stage lander as opposed to just one stage. Alright, so we're actually going to go for an orbit and just recharge all our batteries, just for safety's sake. So I'll put a cut here, and on the next orbit we'll find a landing spot and set down. Alright. Alright, here we are on the other side of the orbit, and we've got a node that will take us to our landing zone. Our landing zone doesn't have an estimate for us just because we have... I forgot how loud those were. Okay. Alright, so those are very loud. They're from the RLA Stockalike mod, because these are 6.25 meter parts, or sorry, 0.625 or 0.675. I can't remember what the exact number is. But nice little engine cluster there, I think. Alright, so we're going to zip down to the surface. Now we're aiming for the edge of a crater. This might be it here. It is in fact this right here. Alright, so we're gonna fire our engines to slow ourselves down. Pull in our solar panels and some of our antenna, just so they don't get damaged in the landing. So our radar altitude is 13,000 meters. Hoping that's going to be a good landing spot. Looks to be just kind of here-ish. Alright, time to null out all of our horizontal velocity. Alrighty, time to deploy our optimistic landing legs. There we are. Let's try to burn off all of our lateral velocity. We're back up to about descending at about 100 meters a second. So we're going to start burning again. Alright, so we're now on our powered landing phase. This is actually going to be a really, really cool landing zone. Very dynamic. Much better than I thought it would be. Far too steep an angle for us to worry about. Alright, so we need to go to chase. Okay. Click the wrong button. Alright. Alright, we're going to try and aim right there. Just right on this lip, because it's going to be the flattest. Right, and Nice soft landing. But I do think we're gonna kind of just shimmy up here. Okay, and we overthrust a whole bunch, but just a little bit closer to the edge, I think, and we'll be ready to deploy. Much better. Oh, look at that. Look at that view. Alright, so we're ready to deploy. Here we go. Dish is out, and solar panels coming out. Even, I think, we'll do an extend. Yep, perfect. Okay, so that's us deployed. So just do a check on the time for this video. Alright, well, I think I'll probably do a mini episode later of the second stage here, because this is a second stage, or a two-stage rocket, so, or a two-stage lander, I'm sorry. So this top section pops off. But I think that will have to wait for a later episode. Anyway, I have been Fox. This has been KSP using Tantares and RLA Stockalike for these wonderful little probe scale liquid fuel rockets. And, well, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care.